welcome back to my loyal subscribers and a warm hello to all of our new viewers joining us today. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of our community. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss an upload. All right, guys, I am Dr. Jasmine, and today I want to talk to you about, again, that phase 3 part of detoxification called elimination. So, remembering that our lifestyle, our environment, the things that we get exposed to, both knowingly and unknowingly, definitely have an effect on how well we're able to grow healthy hair. Remembering that they can increase our nutritional need for detoxification through phase 1 and phase 2 in the liver. Also, remembering that these toxins have a negative impact on our bodily system as a whole, creating an inflammatory process and damage, including at the follicle level. So, if you're already prone to inflammation in your scalp or damage or slow growing hair, these toxins just kind of add to that burden. So, I want to talk to you today about how we can upregulate some of that elimination phase. So in the previous video, which I'll have linked, we talked about how we want to bind up those toxins and then pull them out through our urine and our stool. Now, in the world of naturopathic medicine and natural holistic health, binders are a big deal because binders help us to grab up toxin in the stool and actually be able to truly pull it out rather than reabsorbing it. Binders are also really great because they help us to keep a healthy cholesterol, and as we know, too much cholesterol actually affects blood flow, which in turn can cause decreased nutrient delivery to the scalp, which decreases availability. Anyway, back to binders. But binders are great because when we are going through a toxic load, we can really be targeting the gut and making sure that that elimination phase is actually happening at the rate it should be happening. So some of the common binders, and I get this question all the time, like, what binders do I use? What binders are the best for this toxin and for that toxin? And one great thing about binders is that a majority of them bind everything, okay? Good, bad, ugly, mold, metals, you name it, it's gonna bind it. So you really can't go wrong with a binder in that regard. But there are different ones out there, and if you're, dealing with a large exposure, it might be better to go with a stronger binder. If you're dealing with a smaller one, maybe a not so strong binder. If you're a very sensitive person, like if too much binding actually makes your symptoms worse, you might need to go with a gentler binder rather than using something very strong, even though your exposure might be big. And then maybe later on in your healing journey, then you can step up to something a little stronger, maybe to get you through the last little bit of your detox. But some of the binders out there are both prescription and non-prescription. So remember how I was saying binders are great at binding up cholesterol and keeping those levels normal? Well, prescription binders like Welchol or cholestyramine are actually designed for that, right? They're designed to help keep cholesterol levels normal, help bring down high levels, and in turn act as great what it's called bile acid sequestrants, or they just like sequester them and grab them up, right? So these work really well for that purpose. You also have some non-prescription ones like charcoals and clays. So when it comes to charcoal, it's a carbon-based, product, and it's just like black charcoal that you kind of see, this time of year. Everybody's grilling and using charcoal. Same thing. You can get it in capsules, powders, and there's even like people putting in foods and things. Then you have clays. So bentonite clay, zeolite clay, these act as great binders. You can even like get them and use them on your scalp to bind directly at the scalp level. There are also some plant-based binders. Now, I personally prefer plant-based binders for a couple of reasons. One, you can use them pretty much daily as just like regular general support because they are a lot more gentle. I like them as well because kids can use them. So if you have a child who's maybe been exposed to a toxic load, then this would be a safer bet for both, if you are doing it on your own, or as I always recommend, doing it with a provider. Especially when it comes to a child, I would recommend doing it with your doctor so that you can get the right dose, the right binding capacity for that child. And again, these are going to be a lot more gentle. And I also like them because since they come from the earth, right? They're natural. They usually have some added benefit, right? They're not just taking these away. A lot of these binders are also giving back. So some of the ones that I like are fulvic and humic acid. These two usually come together. These often have other minerals in them that they're also providing you. Chlorella is a really great one. I also like glucomannan. It's a type of fiber. I like, and then, so this is a specific type of fiber, but like other soluble fibers like flax, psyllium, okra, other fibrous veggies like beets and asparagus and eggplants and turnips and green beans and cauliflower and carrots. These are all really great binders, right? So we don't just have to use these like capsules and things, but making sure that fiber and binders are a normal part of our diets like every day. This helps us to really make, again, that elimination effective and actually like getting the stuff out, but also binding it up and making sure that we're grabbing it and we're pulling it out effectively. Now, of course, your foods are not going to be as strong as some of your like charcoals, clays, and prescriptions, but they definitely can help get the job done, especially again on that daily basis. Because even though we're talking about our lifestyle and we're kind of thinking about these big things that we might be getting exposed to, gotta remember there's things you're getting exposed to probably right now, me too, that we're not even aware of. So if we have these things put into place on a daily basis, it's going to be a lot more effective than trying to like scramble when we have this huge exposure and then doing all this stuff. Now, I always say if you're going to be using binders, especially the strong ones like the prescriptions, the charcoals, the clays, be sure that you are having a bowel movement every single day. You definitely want to make sure that you're pushing that out before you go in and bind up more. So, again, the fiber, hydration, make sure you're getting plenty of water, especially with fiber. If you're doing any type of like flax or psyllium, a good 8 to 16 ounces of water with that to make sure that you're pushing that out and it's not getting stuck in your gut. You also can try things like magnesium. Magnesium oxide is a great form of magnesium to help with bowel movements specifically. And then one of my favorite ways to help with just overall detox and with elimination are castor oil packs. So applying castor oil to the abdomen and applying heat is a really great way to like stimulate not only your liver but also your bowel. And then my last rule of thumb for you guys, if you're going to be trying binders, always take it 2 hours away from meals, supplements, and medications. Again, binders bind everything, right? Good, bad, ugly, don't care. They're not that discriminating. So be sure that you are just taking it away. So either 2 hours before or 2 hours after. You want to make sure there's no food, supplements, or medications. All right, guys. Well, if you do have more questions or any comments about binders, about toxins, definitely leave them here. You can also email me at askdrjazz@gmail.com. And then if you'd like to make an appointment to work with me, because I'd love to work with you, please visit me at www.drjasmine.com. And that's all I've got for you guys. But I hope God blesses you in your health. Bye.